to today's Q&A. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Janet. Already
Hi.
I know. Janet has also recently joined the
Yeah.
certification. And yeah, a few people are coming. I'm keeping an eye on the waiting room. So I'm excited, like every single time, because of course I have prepared a framework. So what I want to teach you also to get your questions and also to share the most frequently asked questions, and also share something from my soul to yours. And then again, it's so open that your questions can take us into different directions. So I always really, really deeply want to invite you to be a part of this call. If you're alive, we have, what did I say, 77 sign up. Liz is here
Yeah.
again. Thank you, Liz, for your support. So I guess many people will catch the replay, which is absolutely fine. That's the reason why we have it. But before we start, I would love to know two things from you. The first one is that I would love to know where you're located, because when I started this business or opening up to the English speaking world, I was so focused on North America that I didn't realize that there are many people speaking English around the globe. So we have people joining from around the globe, which is so interesting. That's the reason why I started asking this question. And then the other question is, I would love to know, why are you here today? So, as I said, I did prepare some framework, but I also want to make sure that they get to your questions or to the reason why you're here. So just take some time and drop it into the chat. Okay, Liz, anything to add? Want to add something?
No, nothing to add yet. Let me see where people are from though. Hello from Canada. Tara, I'm also from Canada. Just so you know why my excitement.
It's like coming from I'm from Serbia originally. When I speak to someone, it's like, yeah, I'm from Serbia too, and it's somewhere around the world. I'm like, we're brothers and sisters because we
Yeah.
come from the same country.
Yeah,
Although,
come over. We can
it's
both
really
say the word
interesting.
toque and know what it means.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just, go on. And yeah, Miami, right? Janet and Michael from Cleveland.
Bulgaria, Finland. Oh, I want to go to
Agree.
Finland.
Finland. Okay, perfect. So, okay, let's see. I have everything prepared today without two screens. So I guess when I share, let's see. Okay.
I like to
And
tap into the energy and create abundance in
here
all my
we
life. Oh,
go.
Tara, I love that. Tara, where are you from in Canada? Stop! I'm in Calgary. Wild. I'm in Aspen. Where are you? We're getting specific here now, kids.
Oh, this is so funny. Okay, everyone. So let's take the next step. Oh, let me figure this out. Oh, here we go. Okay. I wanted to share with you just really, really quickly, because you know me through my emails, you know me through my Instagram account, probably. You've maybe been on my website, you've heard some things, either a recording or you read an ebook from me. So I don't want to take too much of your time introducing myself, but I just want to point out that I've been maybe not at the same place like you are today, but at a similar, because I have never planned this to happen to my life. I have never planned, like, as a child I played with interior design. No, I didn't. I didn't at all. I was dancing. I was learning. I was really. My goal was to be in marketing for my whole life. This is what I wanted to go into a corporate job. This is why I studied business economics. I studied marketing, and spiritually was not in my life at all. I got married very, very early. Also, something I didn't plan in this way. I thought I will, marry someday and then become a mom someday. So I got married with 21 after knowing my husband for only 2 weeks. Again, something universe has planned for me and not myself. But now in retrospect, I'm very glad that everything happened just as it did. So, and after finishing my business degree, I was 26, I was married, and we had already our first son. Today we have 4 children. And after graduating, as I said, I just wanted to land a corporate job, but I couldn't. Back then, I would say nobody wanted me because I was young, mother, and married. But today, I know it wasn't my path. And not only that, my self-esteem and self-worth back then were very, very low. I was doubting my whole life, my whole career. I was asking myself, well, why did you start? Why did you learn? Why did you go to university? Because now you're just looking for a job. So I started to work at a fast food restaurant, which is really crazy. Um, and then back then, I had this experience that I was reading about clutter clearing. And I know I tell this story over and over again, but there is just this moment of, when you try to control everything, like I did for like I was a control freak back then. And I was really, really sure that something was wrong with me, or at least with the whole corporate world, because nobody wanted me. And I was reading this article saying that when you clean and clear your space, things in your life change. And I wouldn't believe it. So I was like, you really want to sell me on I shift something in a space and my life will change? So obviously, I did try it out and things started to shift. And for me, it was really enough to look deeper into this whole energy thing about clutter clearing. Of course, clutter clearing brought me to Feng Shui, and I fell in love with it. I just fell in love, and the rest is history. So this was 2004. This all happened 2004, and today you probably read it already. I have over 20 years of experience, and I'm the CEO and the founder of Unfolding Space. And I've built a 7-figure business. By now, it's global, and as a Feng Shui Space Healing Master. So my clients are investors and home builders, homeowners, as well as tenants, because everyone lives in a space. And when I was working with Houston-based investor, and I was in Houston doing healings for him, I got to spend some time with him, and I asked him, like, how do you see the future? Like, where are you investing, like, in the future? So we didn't have this huge investment talk on shares and ETFs or something. He said, listen, Danijela, no matter what happens to the world, even if machines start controlling us, there will always be humans who need to control the machines, and humans always need a space to live somewhere. Yeah. So space is always going to be the most important equity. And I'm like, oh my God. So this blew my mind back then. So not that I started investing in real estate, but I knew as long as we have space, we need Feng Shui to create a space where people can really be really, really strong for their everyday life. And a space is getting smaller and more expensive. We don't necessarily have the freedom to move around just as we wish, because we get stuck with the space. So we need to make the best out of it. And making a best out of a space is not necessarily expensive furniture or beautiful decoration. It's the energy which the space is holding. So this is something which was very close to my heart. I really wanted to share. I think I did never share this, did I, Liz?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So, and this is basically leading into my mission. And my mission is to awaken the power of space and teach others to use it as a force for transformation, clarity, and success. So, and then, I mean, I know we have interior designers in our certification. We have architects, we have healers, we have real estate agents. So people from many different occupations are coming into the space, into the certification. Why? Because space is everywhere, as I just said, and it's holding so much power. And of course, I always say Feng Shui is a tool. Feng Shui. Oh, hold on, I just need to mute everyone. Here we go. Feng Shui is a tool, and it's helping us to make our space a team player. So our space is working for us, and it's not draining our energy. So see. Oh, here we go. And this leads me also into my why. Why does a certification exist? Why am I teaching Feng Shui? So it's not only, so no, I need to start differently. I'm a teacher. I have never realized it, but I'm a born teacher. And when I look into my astrology chart or into human design, or everybody told me, Danijela, you're a teacher. Of course, I didn't realize. I did not, as you know, it's very interesting with my life. I never plan things out. I follow always the next step and the next step. So when I started doing Feng Shui, I just wanted to do consultations. I didn't have the vision to create an international Feng Shui school to certify people around the world. No, I just wanted to do consultations. So, and then people started asking me, Danijela, why aren't you teaching this? And I'm like, well, I don't know, I'm not ready, you know, the usual. And then luckily I had a mentor, and she's like, well, when people are asking you, there is a calling behind it. So you should start teaching Feng Shui. So this is more than 10 years ago. And I was like, okay, well, give me like 2 years to prepare everything. And she said, no, you have 2 hours to think about your program and to reach out to all the people who already asked you, when are you going to start certifying, and to let them know that you're going to start your first certification in 2 months. And I'm like, no, are you crazy? I'm not going to do it. So anyway, so I did it, of course, and my first certification was sold out immediately, which is really, so there is again a synchronicity where when you follow the path, universe is giving you, opening up, things just fall, they fall together. A new path open up without planning things. So, and then of course, when I started to teach, I saw that when we have a community of people who are giving this knowledge further, because when you think about Feng Shui, there are different opinions about it. Some people are saying, "Well, this is woo stuff," and you know, well, if you believe it, you know, nice for you, but you know, there is nothing to it. But how can something which is insignificant stay alive for over 5,000 years and being practiced by millions of people if it's woohoo stuff and esoteric things? So I'm just dismantling this, you know, all these opinions, because it's just not the truth. And then we have seen in the past, let's say maybe 20 years, that there were different movements in our society. We had the movement of mindfulness. We had the movement of body awareness. We have the movement of, you know, awareness of there is a higher part, higher energy, which is leading us. So body, mind, and soul, which is amazing, which is really, really amazing. Alternative healing methods are just normal. But what the one movement which is missing is the movement around space. And I'm still asking myself why, but I do know that this movement is coming, because if our space is not supporting what we are doing, or our clients, if they have a vision and the space is not supporting this vision, there will always be a boulder holding them back, or you know, pulling them down. And that's a pity, because it's so easy. I mean, it's easier to feng shui your space and get some blocks out of your life than to do the whole personal development work, right? It's just so easier to start sometimes work on the outside and things on the inside start shifting than the other way around. So it's a huge untapped potential, and my why is to spread the knowledge and to support people to learn feng shui so that they can spread the knowledge again, so we can create this effect of sharing wisdom so that people can just be happier and more powerful in their lives, because everybody has a space. You don't need to buy it because you need something to live in. So let me know if this makes sense for you. I'm just a little bit blind because I'm sharing this whole screen. So Liz, if you can just update me if there are some Yes, there is a
Michael says
little.
2 thumbs up. And
Go
then
ahead.
I just dropped in the chat.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys can let me know. I'm really curious, so I invite you to share in the chat. What problem do you want to solve with Feng Shui and space healing certification, and does it apply to your current career? I always find it interesting how like real estate agents will tap into it and interior designers, and Daniela's worked in the past with like architects. Yeah, so I don't know, things I'm always curious about.
Okay, cool. So you just let me know, Liz. You can always interrupt. And then let me share with you some case studies, some ideas, and some situations where how people have connected feng shui with something else, like they found a unique niche. And so Tina, she's an Ayurvedic practitioner. She already was an Ayurvedic practitioner when she started doing feng shui with me, and now she is combining feng shui with Ayurveda. So the inner world, the outer world. And her name, she's calling, like, her company is Designing Flow, because she's also a graphic designer. So it's really, really interesting how you can merge two worlds together. And the great thing about finding your unique niche, it's also something I talk about in the certification, is that it's making you unique. It's not about becoming a feng shui consultant. You are learning a powerful modality, a powerful tool. And you don't need to call yourself, I'm a feng shui consultant or a space activation practitioner. However, you can still like call yourself or say, I'm an interior designer, I'm a real estate agent, but you have this powerful tool to add it to your business, which is going to make the difference, which is going to set you apart from other real estate agents who are not seeing why why a house is not being sold, which is not seeing why people keep on selling the same house over and over again. And you're like, why cannot a family settle in here? Why is this house constantly on the market, for example? Or if you're a coach, you work with people and they're like, I don't know why this person cannot move forward. I don't know, like, I've done everything. And then if you would take a look into their space and see, maybe it's cluttered, maybe the desk is not only facing the right direction, it's not only about facing the wrong direction, it's about how is it laid out in the space, right? Is this person on their power spot? Is the space supporting this person, your client, or is it not? Because then everything what you accomplish or do with your client, it will accelerate. It will be much more stronger because the space is not keeping them back. These are just a few examples. I mean, I had also chiropractors. I don't know, I hope I pronounced this right. So they work on the human's body and they would send me their clients and they would do a healing for their space. And then they would tell me that they felt less tension in the bodies of their clients after we did feng shui and healing for their spaces. I mean, how amazing is that, right? So our bodies are also sharing the message or collecting the information our space is holding. So when you change something in your space, your body can also relax. As you see, there's so many connections. And also in the business world, for example, here I brought you the case study of Thomas, and he was one of my first students. And he has an engineer company, and he added feng shui and space healing to his whole company. And he started in the beginning, he was building small houses, doing renovations and so on, and now he's developing luxurious homes for his clients, and all built according to feng shui guidelines. He stopped doing all other projects, and he is just doing those special luxury projects in Germany. And his business exploded. I mean, these are already old numbers. I think at the moment he has over 40 employees. Okay, so and then Annika, I just wanted to share completely different personalities with you, and people are coming from so many different places. So Annika, she is a pilot with Lufthansa in Germany, and she loves what she does. She loves being a pilot. but she also loves Feng Shui. So she said, I do Feng Shui for my soul. And she did build a business, a side business. So she can, when she's flying, she's flying. And when she's at home, she is giving her time to Feng Shui and to her clients. Of course, she's not keen on building a huge Feng Shui business, but she says it's a balance. On one side, I'm in the air, flying around, and Feng Shui is grounding me. And this is the reason why I love, she's not connecting flying and Feng Shui, but she loves connecting those two worlds in her heart. And Frida, also one of my first students back in, I think, 2017, and she was uh, working at the doctor's office, and she was really, really unhappy. She was even sick back then. And then back then, the Feng Shui certification took a year. And she was really going deep into Feng Shui. And she first transformed her own life. And then she quit the job at the doctor's office. And during this year, she set up her business, and it completely freed her up. A few years ago, she moved to the sea in Germany, to the Northern Sea, which was a huge, huge wish for her for her whole life. And she's now not only making her living as a Feng Shui and space healing expert, but she is living her dream, and this is truly amazing. And Melanie, she's a very recent student. She finished her Feng Shui certification, I think 2 years ago or 1 year, around, I don't know, a few, maybe 12 months ago. So she was building her business from scratch. She's married and has two little kids, and she didn't go back to her 9-to-5 business job, but she started with her business, and she built it gradually, step by step. And in April, she had a 10K month from only 3 consultations. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how much can you make as a Feng Shui consultant? How long will it take you? So for me, it depends from where you're coming. If you already have already clients, for example, if you're a real estate agent, you already have clients, or if you're an interior designer, you already have clients. You are already in the business. So of course, bringing in Feng Shui or getting Feng Shui consultations is going to be easier than when you're building a business from scratch. You don't know anyone, you don't have a website, you don't have anything. So, and this is where she started, and it took her around a year to get to this number of 10K. And this is really amazing, and it's now building. She's not having one 10K month and then it's going down to 0. So she is around this income. And the great thing is it's 3 consultations, and she's happy now because she can attend to her kids, and at the same time she can do her Feng Shui. And this is what I always say. It's such a beautiful business. The other day I had a discovery call, and the lady asked me, Danijela, what's your everyday life? And I'm like, wow, okay, that's a difficult question because every day is kind of different. Of course, I'm running a business. Of course, I'm in the office. Of course, I'm doing logistics and marketing and, writing my newsletters, writing my books, and so on. But then at the same time, I'm also spending time with my clients. I'm doing consultations. So I'm doing creative work. I'm connecting to humans. I'm, teaching. So it's so many facets that there is no rule. The only thing where I always need to be careful is not to work too much, because I love what I do so much that it doesn't exhaust me. I could just go on and on. So, but well, if this is the only problem, I guess I can balance that very well.
I'm just sorry, I want to move, I just want to make sure, because I can see like a bunch of comments in the side of like
Yes.
what people are doing. So I just want to like tap in, because it's a nice segue from like what has been successful to what these guys are like kind of doing.
Mhm.
So Catherine said she's looking for a complete career change and is drawn to Feng Shui, which I love. Janet is an interior designer. And she wants to coach her clients to stop hoarding and holding on to so much stuff. And then Tara is looking at a complete career change. So I don't know, I'm curious, do you want to get into some of the questions? Like
Of
how
course. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
you want to do it? Do you want them to do it in the chat or do you want them to ask live? And I personally think with 9 people, I think a live
Oh, yeah.
combo is a
Absolutely.
vibe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask live. Sure.
Thanks for appeasing my curiosity. If you guys don't know, I'm on Daniela's marketing team, which is a career I never thought I'd have. So here we are, people having careers we didn't know we'd have. And so I like to get inside people's heads. It's my toxic trait. Does anybody want to open up and ask? Drop in the chat.
Just
Tara, Catherine.
I'll ask.
Yay.
Can you hear me okay? Because I'm in my car and
Oh yeah, you're
I'm not
good.
sure.
oh, I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Hi, everyone. So this is a big challenge of mine. I'm an interior designer. A lot of my clients, they either have these, they don't want to get rid of their old things, collection, things that they've collected throughout the years. And as you know, it collects and it multiplies and it multiplies and it becomes like a lot of unnecessary things. And they have this like, they can't let go. And here I am trying to create a new peaceful, harmonious space for them. But then they want to bring in everything that they've had either in their current home or let's say we're remodeling. They take everything out for us to remodel. And then once the new space is in, now they start bringing all of their old stuff and it's junk. I'm sorry, I hate to say it's junk, but most of the time it is. I mean, I can see if there's something, I honor them when it's something that has meaning and they have like, a connection with it. But not everything is going to have a connection to it and not everything belongs in your home. So
Mhm.
I'm just trying to like see if maybe bringing in the feng shui piece to this and explaining to them that it doesn't belong for more reasons than it not looking good or it ruining the new design. It's more of a energetic reason as to why
Mhm.
it shouldn't go. But there's I don't know, it's like that's a big challenge of mine and I'm hoping that this this coaching and what I'm learning is going to help me navigate through that.
Have you
It
had
will.
have you had an experience yet where I only laughed because my sister's an interior designer and so I was like I felt that in my soul the number of times she's like I do a space perfectly. Um
Uh-huh.
So have you had an experience yet where you have had the ability to draw on like this authority position in order to really help people with their highest and best good? And I do that very often in my work. As Daniela knows, I'm always like, well, I win because I have the views. Uh,
Yeah.
so, so in your work, have you had an opportunity where you've been able to present to somebody like, hey, I have this authority that I can draw on and I can really promise you this is for your highest and best good?
Yeah, I've tried, but sometimes they don't want to hear it. They're like, "No, this is grandma's furniture." And this was or when we first met 30 years ago when we lived in an apartment and our first place and now we're millionaires, but we were poor and this was our bedroom set and we want to bring it to the house because it has sentimental value.
I
And
can
Mhm.
feel Daniela's response to that one.
Yeah.
how do I tell them no, but it's ugly or it doesn't work with your home, like
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
bad.
You don't tell them no at all, Janet. I usually ask my clients and ask them just, do you need this piece of furniture to remember the most precious moment of your life?
Yeah.
And my goal is just to get them thinking, starting on a, I just want them to start thinking.
Yeah.
And then we also have a part on clutter clearing in Feng Shui, a module. Not because I have this best method of clutter clearing. I mean, there's just as many methods as they can be, but to give you more insights on how to deal, how to talk to people. So they need to have an aha moment. They need to have an aha moment. They're like, oh, do I really need this, whatever it is, for my grandma to remember this beautiful soul? Well, I guess not. And this is a decision you're trying to, um, you're not pushing your client, you're just going into a conversation because they need to have an aha moment. I know your heart is bleeding, and I know you have this beautiful, you create this beautiful space and you have a vision, and but the client needs to, the client needs to go on the journey with you. And this is, for example, in Feng Shui. I had years ago a situation where I did a Feng Shui consultation, and my client took the consultation, gave it to the interior designer, and the interior designer, she did amazing work, and my client went on holiday. And then she came back, I don't know, 3 weeks later, and her whole home was remodeled, and she wasn't feeling well at all. She was like, oh, everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. So I stepped in because the interior designer wasn't wrong, but she did not want to be involved in the process, right? Because Feng Shui is not only interior design, is moving energy. And this is where we teach our clients why clutter is not aligned, why, not telling them it's not, but they understand how the chi is flowing, what the chi is bringing, why clutter is keeping abundance away, why clutter is maybe making them sick. And the moment they have the aha moment, they're going to let go of the things by themselves.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And, because I deal with the marketing side. And so, a lot of times we do want to, you want to generate word of mouth, word of clients, all of those things. And there is that differentiating factor. Like, the one thing that I find can't be stressed enough to all of you guys here who are interested in this, from somebody who spends too much time on the internet looking at things, is that there's 1,000,001 coaches, there's 1,000,001 interior designers, there's 1,000,001, architects, coaches, therapists, marketing people. And there's not always a thing that makes you just that little tiny bit different. And it's that little tiny bit different that will, capture that client. And when I think about what you're saying, Janet, with interior design, clutter clearing, helping people move forward, and layering in the feng shui, I don't know if you've applied any feng shui to your life. I obviously, since I got started with Danijela, so I started with Danijela in October, and in I think it took like 7 weeks, I'm a freelancer, my income increased $21,000, and I was able to move out of a tiny apartment and into a beautiful townhome in Calgary. If you know Calgary, you know Aspen, and you know that it's nice. So, I've really seen the impact. And so not only are you creating these beautiful spaces, which is already so incredible to people, but what Danijela is saying is when you supercharge it with the energetic movement that is internal, it's the word of mouth alone
It's a
is
game
just a game changer.
changer.
It's a
Yeah.
game changer. And then there's a different level of authority that comes with, and authority can't be faked, and it can't be, you gotta give it, the credit it's due, right? So when somebody says, I also have a certification in feng shui and space healing, that resonates with somebody. That means something to people. So yeah, it's really incredible.
Yeah.
Do you have
Thank you
more
for
questions
asking.
about the course line? Like how long it takes? Do you have structural questions or?
Yeah, actually. So I guess my question is, let's say I'm working on a project with a client for the interior design side, and I weave in the feng shui and the space healing component to it. How, like, in what order does that go? Like, do I design the space with the space healing in mind, or is that a separate consultation that I do? And how long is it? Like, how long is a feng shui consultation, like, typically?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So once you have the knowledge, you internalize the knowledge, you cannot leave it out. You just you
Yeah,
can't. It's
it's
like, oh, I guess
impossible.
it's
Yeah,
impossible.
you're,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So of course, there are different depths you can go. You can have, your interior design, and you have certain aspects which are including this Feng Shui aspects, no matter if client wants a Feng Shui consultation or not. But then you can also have a own module where you go deeper into Feng Shui and then add it to the like the normal interior design consult. But yeah, it's just something impossible to ignore, Janet. And then it's also something we talk deeper in our consultation. So when you get to our call at the end of the month, the Q&A call, which is included in the certification, we go deeper on this, and then we can also talk about how your Feng Shui consultation can look like. Where is the differentiation between the interior design and interior design consultation and the Feng Shui consultation, and how they can be weaved in together or be separate. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn about that.
Oh, I'm excited for you, Janet. I think it's going to be a game changer. I feel like that's exactly what you have. I can feel a vibe that this is exactly what you've been sort of looking for.
It is. It's definitely what I've been looking for. I'm really excited about this.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
so
it's
glad
going to
you
be
came.
so good. Yeah, thank you.
I'm so glad you came.
Janet.
Catherine's in the chat and she says she has a couple questions and I'm super curious. I think Catherine's my local. No, Finland. I want to go to
Hi.
Finland.
Hi, Catherine.
Hello. Yeah, I'm interested in finding out, as somebody who's a newcomer to the subject and is only just starting to learn about this, like how much time it would take to kind of learn all this and to start working with clients, and how doable all of that is.
So my experience is that you need around 20 hours per month. It's like very generous to go through the modules. And it's different. Sometimes, the modules, it's 3 parts. And every part has modules and lessons. So it's really, bite-sized, so you can learn at your own pace. The great thing is that as soon as you are done with module 1 or part 1, you can start doing consultations. You don't need to finish the whole certification to start applying your knowledge. Even more, I'm really encouraging everyone to start doing consultations while they are in training. Why? Because then you have real questions, and then you can bring all those questions in our Q&A calls where I can answer them and support you to do your consultation. So why is this important? When you are done with the certification, you know what you are doing. You have already done consultations. You know how to deliver them. You know how to talk to people to make so that they book a consultation with you. So we have all those things. We teach them, or I teach them in the certification as well, because when you are done, you are done. I don't want my students to finish a certification and ask themselves, okay, and now how do I deliver a consultation? Because I did ask myself this question when I finished my certification. I'm like, and now? So I have all this knowledge, but I have no idea how to apply it. So this is how it's laid out, and this is what I'm supporting, Catherine. Is this answering your question?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I also was curious about when you're doing consultations, how much of the work is online versus in person?
Okay, so I also have a question here from a lady who emailed that she cannot be online, and she asked, can I do a consultation without going into the space of my clients? So in fact, you can choose. How I love to do consultations is in person, and when I say in person, it means we have one conversation where I in the home of my clients, where I get to know the clients, where I get to know the space, where we set the frame. It depends how big the house is, but it takes maybe an hour. And then it takes me, like, it depends, 2 weeks or how long you need time to finish the consultation. This is what you do in your office. And then you would have everything ready, and then visit your clients again, and then walk them through your consultation. So this is this in-person work. But since the world is not growing, but it's expanding, And people, I cannot travel to every client. You can do the same framework online as well. So you can, I have now clients in Switzerland. I'm in Croatia right now. So I had a Zoom call with my client. She took me through her space. She shared pictures with me. She shared everything what I need to know. And then now I'm going through the consultation. I'm doing the consultation. And in August, we're going to meet online again. And I'm going to walk her through the consult. So both versions are absolutely, absolutely possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Catherine? No? Okay. Okay, great. Liz?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, Catherine, just to sort of give you some reassurance, because the first thing I heard you say was like, how hard is it to get started? Um, so like, just to give you from my experience, which I mean, I don't have the authority piece in what I do. But when I started, I just started, I think I took on one client for free. So because I'm a strategist, so that's kind of like what I do. So I took on one client for free and I worked with her online digital content for 90 days to apply strategy to it to help her get better results and to get more clients. That worked out so well that I've now built, I mean, I have a global business because of it. I have no website. You can't really find me on Instagram. I mean, I barely started an Instagram, but I'm too busy running other accounts to do my own. You really only find me if you have my phone number, and it goes off of, what people have said. And I share that with you to let you know that it's sometimes in our heads that it's going to get harder to get hired than we think. It's actually easier to get hired than you think. And especially because Feng Shui has a couple different things that are working for it. First off, it's 6,000 years old. Nobody's doubting that, Feng Shui is real and powerful. It's been powerful for years. We've heard legends, we've heard stories, Oprah Winfrey has talked about it. So we know that it's, real. So there's that side. People are so actively looking to engage with energy right now more than ever before. And the missing piece truly is, yes, they know how to work with energy, or they're starting to learn how to work with energy, like in their mind and in their body, but they haven't quite tied together. And what's beautiful about what Danijela is doing is that she's really tying together the energy of like the mind and the body, and then the space to like kind of supercharge the unconscious mind. And because so many people are in line with that right now, it's word of mouth has really got your back. So if you really just go out there and deliver, and like I say this to kind of everybody, if you just go out there and deliver your absolute best, it's likely to grow for you. And I just like to always drop that, because I'm a single mom of 2 kids, so I don't get to mess around with getting paid every day, every month. So, but I just want you to feel supported that it's possible.
Thank you. I love Liz when Liz shares, because she has this analytic mind, and so she knows what's really going on. I feel what's going on. I can tell you, but I don't have the analytics behind it. But I feel what is going on. And if you ask me, what's the number one thing you need to do to build a successful business? Build relationships.
Yeah.
Don't hide behind your computer. Don't go into Instagram strategies and all these things. I mean, let Instagram be a part of your business. Let the online world be a part of your business, because it's super important. But as Liz said, to start out, you need to build relationships and go start talking to people. And this is just the key. And don't overthinking, because when every time, because the certification for the certification of the certification is that you have a project which is paid and not for yourself. So, and then you present it, or you turn it in, and then I will go through it, and then you will get certified. So that's the project. And the biggest concern when people sign up, like, how am I ever going to get the project in 6 months? And I'm like, don't worry, everybody got one. Because when you start doing what you love, and when you start doing Feng Shui and learning Feng Shui, and you start applying it to your own life, and you're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then you start sharing, and people are like, I want the same like you have, because you are all excited. I wanted too. Can you know it for myself as well, for me as well? And this is how my students get their projects. They don't bother about building an Instagram strategy in 6 months, or building a whole business in 6 months to get the project. So this is 20 years of experience what I'm sharing with you. And my website, when I founded Unfolding Space, I changed the whole website, the name and everything. And a mistake has happened, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into it. It's an old story. And for 2 years, I was invisible on the internet, completely invisible. Nobody could find my website, nothing. And my business did not go down. It expanded in those 2 years. So this is just some experience from my side. Okay, so Liz is looking out for further questions, and I want to share with you just a few other things I have prepared. So let me just turn on the presentation. Here we go. Okay, so just something really like tangible for you. How this space activation certification is designed to help you. So what I want you, when you're done, to be able to do is to walk into a home or an office and see exactly where the space is blocking the energy of sending opportunities away, for example. So you don't need to analyze, you walk into the space and you exactly know what's going on there. And then also to create spaces that align with for yourself, of course, or for your clients' goals, visions, and future selves, using the power of Feng Shui and the future selfing, which I have developed in the last years, and which I'm also sharing in the certification. And then what you will also be able to do is to clear out stuck and outdated energy that no longer belong in the present, so fresh momentum can flow in, because if the bucket is full of old water, the new water won't be able to flow in, or it will get dirty and meshed up with this old energy. But if you first clear the bucket out, clean the bucket, and then invite new energy, there is a completely new future going to happen for those people, for the tenants who live in the space. And then I'm also there to support you build your own successful Feng Shui business. This is why Liz is on my team, and we have an amazing bonus coming up in August, but we will share about it a little bit later. And then how to integrate this work into your current service if you already have one. And then also learn the business side, how to price your office, how to attract clients, position yourself, and so on and so on, something we have already touched on. And then we Googled how much can you make with space activation and Feng Shui. And then let me just quickly touch on, maybe you have asked yourself, okay, Danijela, what's the difference between space activation and Feng Shui? Isn't it the same? So space activation is also containing the most important and powerful Feng Shui school there is. That's the form school, because this school we are talking about a chi flow, we are talking about being able to hold abundance in your space and being able to attract new opportunities and create amazing life. So this is the landscape Feng Shui. It's so powerful. So if you don't have this one, you can activate the Bagua as much as you want. But if the chi is not flowing to your life, the corners of your life, of the life areas you have activated, nothing is going to happen. So this is really the framework I'm giving you. And then I connected this part of Feng Shui with space healing, which means shifting and changing and cleaning old energies in the space so that new energies can align and flow in. This is the bucket example I just gave you. And this is the reason why I'm not just calling the certification, it's a Feng Shui consultation, a certification, it's space activation, because we really activate the energy of the space for our clients and align the energy of the space with the energy of our clients. So, but we Googled about Feng Shui, and this is, I'm not going to read this to you, but it's around 100,000 dollars, I'm sorry, per year. And it depends. So for me, I feel this is a number which you can easily get to doing Feng Shui part-time. Why? Here we go. So in Germany, the certification costs 6,000 euros. It's laid out completely differently than the English-speaking one, but these are the prices now for the certification. But what I want to share, just take a look at this lower part of the screen. So most of my students start charging around 2,000 to 2,500 per consultation. And now you can, the investment can pay off with like one client. If you take a look at the English speaking price, one client, and you have already your investment, you made a return on investment. And then you can think about, and this is the beginning. So this is a normal home. We're not talking about a house, we're talking about an apartment. And then the bigger the house, the more you charge because it's based on square feet. And usually if you have a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, the price go up to $4,000 or $5,000. So if you do 4 consultations per month, or let's say 3 consultations per month, in an average of $5,000 per consultation, you are well over the estimated income we just saw from Google. And doing 3 consultations a month is not a 9-to-5 job or working 60 hours a week. It's maybe, especially in the beginning, you do need more time, but maybe if you think about working days to do 3 consultations, you might need, let's say, 10 days. Okay, so I just want to give you a framework so that you can, for yourself, understand how generous this work is, and how, I don't know the right word, how kind and how welcoming for us, not to go into overdrive, not to overwork ourselves, but to really work with energy. So and this is just, I don't know how to, Liz, can you frame it differently? Because I'm just missing words, because my heart is so filled with gratefulness for this. I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just missing the words.
Well, you're nailing it. You're nailing it. Don't worry about it. I think like really it's such an interesting thing because it's really an education that serves you for life. And that's kind of what's wild. Like when you look at an ROI of something, it's an education that serves you for life. And I mean, I'm kind of blessed by default because I get so much of the education from trickle down. And so, I mean, I think in my one implication, now I'm messing my words. My one implication, I think I would have got like what, a 200% ROI just from making, like, from myself learning. So even just applying it to yourself is really incredible. But Janet's saying, how many hours in total would you say a full consultation takes on average? And what did the deliverables look like?
So, as I said, if you do the old frame, I'm just talking about the Feng Shui consultation, the old framework, like I just said, 1 hour with the client, doing the consultation, it maybe takes, let's say 8 hours, let's be generous. Of course, it depends if you have an apartment or you have a 6-bedroom house with 2 adults, 4 children, and 2 offices. Of course, there is, it's just small work, but an average house, like an average family home, it would take you maybe really 8 hours to sit down to go through everything, and then create the workbook, not the workbook, the handbook, create mood boards. So it might take you 4 more hours. So it's maybe, let's say 12 hours. And then walking your client through your consultation, it takes around 2 to 3 hours. Again, it depends on how many questions they have, how big the home is, how many, just how much you have to deliver. So, and this is how you deliver the consultation, and what the time investment is. Okay, so this is just the investment side, the return on investment, and just to give you an overview, how much you can make with Feng Shui, or with this business. So I have a few questions, frequently asked questions already here, because out of the experience, they are always coming. And I think we have touched on how do I get my first clients and how much they charge as a beginner. It's just what I just said. You don't have to, don't charge like 200 or 300 euros or dollars for a consultation. Why? My Feng Shui master taught us that if we don't charge the price, like the real price, or adjusted price for a consultation, we are creating imbalance in the energy field, because
Love
we are
that so
changing.
much.
Hmm?
Love that so much.
Yeah, because we create an imbalance. We change our clients' lives forever. And then it costs like 500 euros. And then all subconsciously, the client will go like, this cannot be good, like $500. And she's saying she's changing my life. Something's wrong here. It's like you go to a heart surgery and the surgeon charges you $500, and you're like, this cannot be a good surgeon. He is not going to operate on me. No way. No, go away. No way. You're not the right one, right? So I'm not talking about overpricing or doing something crazy, but just be aware that you are changing other people's lives. And then also think about the whole houses, how much they cost. And it needs to be in a healthy relation to the size of the house, to the cost of the house, and what you are charging. So when I always tell my students, because everybody has another number in their heads, whatever number you're thinking of, just add at least 20%, and then you're okay. But this is also something we discuss in the certification.
Had to
Go
laugh when
ahead.
you said that, because I was going to say, like, and again, I'm not a feng shui consultant, but I freelance for people all over. And when I meet with clients, I also don't have, because I want you guys to have confidence in the freedom of making your business look exactly the way you want your business to look. I think when you look at like traditional work, there's like a little bit of a brain floss that has to happen. And I just want to give you another perspective of that. So for me, when I meet with clients, I don't have a preconceived notion of what I'm doing with them. I don't know, what I'm producing, what sort of workload, how we're going to engage clients. I know nothing about really my clients' desires when I meet them. I know a little bit about their business before I meet them. And the very first thing I ask them is always, what do you want? And from there, I design how I believe I could be of service to them, the best service to them. And I always, always, always price on energetic exchange. That's what I call it. So I sit back and I look at sort of what I think that they need. And then I look at what is my energetic exchange that I'm putting into it, and what is the financial exchange that I need back. All of my clients, I maybe would be easy to have consistent pricing. I don't have consistent pricing, but I know I over deliver. I know my clients are happy. And so what Danijela said about just like really feeling into your heart of the energetic exchange, so good. And I want you to have faith that that will work, because that will work.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, going back to why is it important and what's the benefit of having clients while you're in the certification, because you get to ask me real questions, not some made up questions your mind comes up with, but you're feeling what it means to guide somebody through a Feng Shui consultation, because there is sometimes resistance, like Janet, was talking about clutter clearing. So, you would come on a call and say, oh, I have a client and he's really, or she is really resistant to letting go of her clutter. So what do I do? So then I can coach you on that, right? So this is just so important. I cannot emphasize it enough. And then you build testimonials and referrals while you're in training. You create content from each session. What the pain points of your clients are. So you have input of how are you going to talk about your Feng Shui service. And sometimes what you think is going to work is not working, but your client is telling you what he or she is needing. Then you're like, oh no, I need to pivot, right? So you start changing your positioning and adjusting, and doing all this in the certification, if you have the time, it's just such a great place to be. And then we can also celebrate your results, which is also cool. And then I just want to touch also on one question which I get asked very, very often. It's like, what school are you following? So is it classical? Is it form school, 24 Mountains? Is it B2B or a mix of all? So what are you teaching? So, and this is just a question. She's also already in the certifications. She signed up and she asked me this question. So, and she has trained with different Feng Shui schools, and she was kind of lost because there were so many what is it called? So one school said said this is a solution, and our other school said this is a solution. And then she's like, I'm completely confused, and I don't feel confident doing consultations because I'm not clear on what school to follow. And this sometimes happens, and it's not because the schools are wrong. It's just because you are not understanding where the solutions coming from. So we need to go a little bit deeper. And 90% of the solutions are rooted in the form school. This is what I just said. That's the school I'm teaching in the certification. They're all rooted there. The Bagua, the B2B, is also rooted in the form school. So when you really deep dive in the form school, you are going to get a very, very strong foundation for everything what you have learned. So I don't say to anyone, forget what you've learned in Feng Shui, those schools are wrong or this is wrong. No, they're all right. You just need to put them on the right place so that they can work together, so that they make sense. And this has been my passion forever. I never make somebody wrong. I have very often students coming from different schools, and they're like, "Oh, we have gaps, and I have no idea what it is." So I say, "Okay, no problem. Just for now, forget what you've learned. Let us build up the Feng Shui from scratch, and then we're going to bring in everything what you have learned, so that you feel confident." And this is what really happens. And this is something which is, I can confidently say, makes my teaching really, really unique. Because, as I say, it's not about making anybody wrong or me being the best one. I just know what I do, and I love to see my students really grow and create their own Feng Shui, go their own ways. I don't want anyone to say, "Oh, Danijela, she's my master and she said I need to do it like this, I need to do it like that." No, I'm teaching you, and you go into your heart, and you go into your feeling, and in all your wisdom and knowledge, and you decide what path you take or what recommendations you do. Because there's one thing in Feng Shui I always say: there are no like this absolute solutions, like you always do like this, you always need to do this, Feng Shui always says this is wrong with Feng Shui, this is right with Feng Shui. That's not existent. It always depends. Yes, we have a set of rules, but we have just as many reasons to break those rules, because no space is the same, no person is the same. It's always different. That's the reason why it's good to go deep and know the base, the root of Feng Shui, because then you can always go back and create your own solution. And it makes you independent. And this is really, really cool. Oh yeah, I gave you, I completely forgot that I have you. We are a little bit over time, but I'm almost done. Just the layout of the land of the Feng Shui schools. And this is here, the landscape Feng Shui. I don't know if you see my mouse, but the landscape Feng Shui, that's the Qi, the heart point, the 5 animals, the view, the backing, and many, many other things. And from my understanding, it's 50% of a Feng Shui consultation if you do if you go into all different schools. And we have the compass school where you work with the cardinal directions, and then you have the flying stars as well. And there are different schools working with either of the schools. I have learned to work with all of them, with all 3 ones, to bring them together. And then we have the 3-door Bagua, as you can see, and the 3-door Bagua is based in the landscape school. So when you understand the landscape school, you really understand how the 3-door Bagua works. So if you're a B2B practitioner, it's going to add to your knowledge you already have. It's not going to make what you have done until now wrong or something. It's just going to add knowledge and wisdom and more foundation to everything what you already do, and it's going to make you more flexible, which is really, really amazing. I think, this is just a short overview, but you can also find all the parts and everything laid out on our website. Liz, maybe you can just drop in the chat the website, because I don't want to, go through everything right now. Yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free and ask us. And then, I can keep this open and maybe just open the space to, if there are any further questions. I have, let's see, there is one more question. Oh, I have a request. While you're reading this, maybe I just have a huge request for you. Every now and then, I'm talking to people who are interested in doing the certification, and they share, and and then I ask them, like, do you have a certification? Because the questions are sometimes very precise, and I'm just wondering. And they say, well, yes, I did different courses here and I did different courses there. And then, but hear me on this. A feng shui course, if you go no matter to what teacher around the world, if it's not titled as a certification, um, is not certifying you to go and intrude on other people's lives. As I said, we feng shui, as a feng shui practitioner, you are really, really going into the energy of other people's lives. And it's not only about changing the chi direction or a clutter clearing. It's really balancing the energy of the space, holding the frame for the transformation which is going to happen. So there is a huge spiritual part on it. And when as I can speak for myself, when people go through my certification, they get spiritual activations, and they get they get support to go through this transformation themselves, open up energy channels, open up intuition, everything what's needed, and also mostly to connect to the consciousness of feng shui in a spiritual way. So, and when I teach courses, an online course on feng shui for wealth, future self for wealth, or how to feng shui your space, and so on. If I teach it to somebody who's doing it for him or herself, the teaching style is completely different. Of course, I don't go so much into all the depth. Of course, the activations are not the same because it's just not the same framework. So because no matter what you do, you always want to have a qualified person supporting you. And it's a pity that feng shui does not have an organization who is like certifying or who is giving like a guarantee. This certification is like, I don't know, the government, or it's nowhere in the world. It's nowhere in the world you have a unique a standard for feng shui certifications, which is really a pity. So I was accepted into the International Feng Shui Association in Singapore. And before they accepted me as a full member, they were going through all my materials for months and months in their council before they accepted me and my certification. So, and this for me, and the big masters are in the council there, and this was for me something I've been looking for a long time. I didn't want to get into any kind of association because they're again different levels. But I really, really want it. I want from my heart. I speak to you. Just be mindful. And the price of this certification is, I don't know why it's so low, Liz. I mean, it's just insane. We started out like this, but it's $1,500, and it supports you in build a new life for yourself and for your clients, and build a new business. And you can make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, euros, or whatever whatever your currency is out of this knowledge. So be generous to yourself and to your new business or your new niche. Okay, this is something which was so close to my heart, and I really, really wanted to share this also with you. Now I need to take a deep breath. Okay, so I just stopped the screen share because I want to see you all, and just ask you if there are any further questions. Liz, did I forget something? Is there anything I didn't touch on?
I don't think so. Is there any other? Tara, Janet, Diana?
Thank you,
I'd like to.
Michael.
I'd like to ask just one
Oh,
clarifying
go
question,
ahead.
if I could.
I thought you were saying goodbye.
Oh, no. I was raising my hand,
Okay.
my actual hand. Yeah. So Daniela, can you speak just a little bit more about the deliverables for a consult? You mentioned just briefly, you go back and you look at everything, and then you come back to the clients and you go over it, and it takes 3 hours or so forth. But what, and maybe this is part of the training, but what actual deliverables do you suggest that we're preparing? What does the report look like? How extensive is it? What are we actually taking to the client?
Yeah. So you have I love to make so for me there are 3 deliverables. So me talking or guiding my clients through the consultation, then having a handbook where I write down everything what I recommend them to do, and also write down the why. So why am I telling them to create a chi attraction point on a certain wall, or why am I telling them to optimize the chi, and all the whys. So, and then also this handbook also contain it will also be uploaded to the certification. I will give you all the handouts so you have an idea you can use. So it's made for you. But I also have mood boards so that the people, everybody has different pictures in their heads. So by creating a mood board, you again give your client a prompt in what direction to think, or to start thinking when implementing the Feng Shui the tips, or the Feng Shui what is the right word? The English word is not coming to me now.
Directions.
Thank you. Yes, to their home. And the third one is, what I love to do is always map out a floor plan and draw into the floor plan what I'm recommending them. For example, if I want them to change the direction of their office desk, or to change the place of the sofa, I would draw a floor plan with all the details, how I need them to, which they need to implement in their home. Why are the three components so important? If you only have the handbook and you don't talk to the people, it's just a disconnect. If you only talk, there's so many information coming to them, and you don't have the handbook, your clients will have tons of questions because they cannot keep all the information they had. And then the floor plan with the drawings is there if they want to do a quick action and they're like, oh, I need to go through the handbook and I don't have time for it. So they just grab the floor plan and like, oh, the sofa needs to be in this direction, so let's just turn it around. I don't need to know the why. I know it's stored in the handbook. Now I just need to go into action, and this is why I have the floor plan.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
I think okay, so I just listened to all of that from a person who's not in the Feng Shui consultation, or doing Feng Shui consultations. But what I kind of heard is that, and I know Danijela says this in her copy, it's a business in a box. All of these pieces that she's talking about being done for you is kind of wild. That's a huge benefit.
Yeah. It takes me a little bit because I'm a perfectionist. It's something I did not give up in my own, and I'm just uploading piece by piece all the things. But I really want to give you all the materials I'm owning because I want to make your life and your path as easy as possible. Great. Sure. So, any further questions? Hi, Diana.
Hi, can I
Nice
ask
to
you
see
a
you.
question actually?
Yes, go ahead, sure.
So I just joined this live call much later because I was on another meeting. So maybe you probably already mentioned, but when is the start date for this certification? I mean, for the course? Or
Oh, it's a great question. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, because I wasn't sure if it's not self-paced, because from what I understood, you have the calls each month. So when is the next planned date to start?
So it's you can join whenever you want. So it is, you learn at your own pace, and no matter where you are in the certification, you always can bring your questions to the Q&As. So usually people love to join before the next Q&A call is, and the next Q&A call is it's always the last Tuesday of the month, and the next call is on the 29th of July at 6 p.m. Standard European time and 9 a.m. PST. This is what, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
my dog would like to join our conversation. I wish we should let everybody know, Danijela, as well, that also, you know what, Danijela, you tell them about the bonus because Rio is being
Okay, sure. Yeah. So 2 bonuses, which I'm super excited. We extended them to the 20, I think it's 24th. We are gifting everyone the Future Self for Wealth course. And what I added to the Future Self for Wealth course is a Q&A call for everybody who's in the course for the 24th. So this is going to be added to your dashboard as soon as you join. And then Liz is going to do an amazing training on marketing on Instagram for, oh, I hope I say this the right thing. I think it's going to be 5 calls and it's completely free for you. And she's going to give you all the insights you need to. Liz, can you take over?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
You.
What was it? So so I do Danijela's marketing as well as various other things and have duplicated success multiple times on multiple channels. It's something that I lay awake at night studying the algorithm. I have no relationship. It is my significant other. And so after years of doing this, I've decided to put together a course that you can only actually access if you're currently working with my clients. So the people that are being there are only people that are my clients' clients. It's very closed door. It's not advertised. You can't get in any other way. And it will be 5 days talking about, there's some very specifics of the algorithm and how to access the algorithm. If you look at Danijela's numbers, you'll see that she very consistently overachieves what is, normally achievable. And there's a very specific reason why that has happened. And that's not just a one-off situation that happened with Danijela's channel. It actually I started implementing these strategies because I manage a sport channel in Canada. So it's going to be 5 days. It'll be 2 hours. It's going to be in August. So August 18th to the 22nd. It'll be 2 hours a day. Each day we're going to cover some very important things about content creation, hooks, how to find the right content for you, how to study your data patterns so you know what's working. And I'm really, really passionate about dispelling myths about social media. So to put it in perspective, I deal with clients from YouTube all the way to like Instagram, and all of my clients consistently get probably 80 to 90% of their clients from the content that we create together or from my strategy. So it's very reliable. Okay, so, but I'm gonna let all of my clients into this for free for 5 days. The only thing that will be your sort of qualification to get in, it costs you nothing to get in. Your qualification will be that it is it's going to be like proprietary knowledge. So this is for you, for your success, and you got to kind of like lock in and keep it very secret sauce. I'm going to expect you to have a commitment to yourself, whether that's like one piece of content, whether you want to do YouTube or Instagram, whether you want 1 piece of content per week or 3 pieces of content per week, you're going to have to commit to yourself. And I'm going to be locked in with you guys for 90 days. So we're going to do 5 days of training, and then we're going to come back so that I can like assess your content, give you advice, etc., for 90 days, because eventually I would like to turn this into a package that I can promote. And so your guys' success it's crazy wild important to me. So that's going to be for people who are in the certification before August, I think 12th is when I'm going to run it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really wild, Janet. It's going to be, so I'm trained, if you guys know Mr. Beast, who's like the largest YouTuber ever, I'm trained, the universe, just like Danijela, the universe really had my back, and I'm trained really high level training with Mr. Beast's actual strategist from YouTube. So, and if probably don't know anything about data and SEO and analytics, but YouTube is the mother of all things. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very excited.
And there is one thing I just want to add to it now in retrospect, because I told you I was asked like what's my ideal day, like what is my normal day, and I spent so much time in trying to figure out the marketing and the positioning and how to get clients, and how to enter, for example, the English-speaking world. And it was close to me. My brain is not Liz's brain, obviously, and I don't have the training. I don't have the marketing training. I was led by my intuition. But just when facts are there, the intuition sometimes just, it doesn't, you cannot apply your intuition on facts. And what Liz opened up the world to me, and this is really fact. There is nothing, to hide around this. And she sharing this wisdom with you. I mean, I'm going to attend too, because I don't know everything, so I'm just very keen. It's really amazing and unique. It's just like the whole business module in 5 days.
Yeah. So to put it in perspective, we got 100,000 subscribers. I mean, we'll be at 100,000 followers in 7 days on Danijela's account. So we got 100,000 followers in about 100 days. So yeah,
it's
consistently we get anywhere from 3 to 1,000 followers a day. So, and there's a very specific mathematical recipe behind it, and that's why it's really important that the people who come in are locked in, because if we're not following the math, if we're not following the math won't math. So
yeah, so very exciting. And thank you, Liz, for sharing. So yeah, I mean, you're invited. Their link is in the chat. So if you open it up, you can sign up. Go ahead and you can sign up. You have a payment plan. You have a pay in full price. Then you're in. Your dashboard is created, and you can start studying. If you're not sure on the same page, you can book a 15-minute decision-making call with me. We can go through your questions and then see what direction is the best for you to move. So whatever your path is, I'm here, you know where to find me. And now I really want to thank you for staying with us for so long, longer than we have intended, but that's how it goes. And yeah, take care. And I'd love to see you around. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Michael, Janet, everyone who's here. Bye-bye.